Hi everyone, welcome. It's Annemiek from the Academy for Soul-Based Coaching, and today I'm here with Haneefah Muhammad, who is a soul empowerment coach and poet, who's part of our Invoke program, our soul-based coach training program. And she has just such a gorgeous energy and message that we thought it would be so good to shower you with that as well. So welcome, Haneefah. It's so good to have you.
Thank you so much, Annemiek, and it's so good to be here too. Thank you for inviting me.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, so as always on these little chats, I'd like to start with just kind of checking in with what brought you to soul-based coaching so that we get to understand about you and your journey and what it is that you're bringing into this world. What brought you here?
That's always such a wonderful question, because it gives me an opportunity to go back in my mind and in my heart and in my soul and in my memory about this journey. And back in around about 2012, I qualified as a life coach. And around about that same time, I realized I was seeking more, and going within more, not looking outside for answers, but spending more of my time looking inside. I see myself as a very spiritual person rather than religious, but a spiritual person anyway. And I found myself dwelling more and more on what was happening inside of me, and what was stirring me, what was moving me, what was exciting me. And it wasn't what was going on outside. It was really what was going on inside. And there was a curiosity and an energy. And I remember being at work one day, and I was a social worker, working as a social worker at that time. I remember being at work and thinking, Journey to My Soul. That I was literally just in between seeing clouds, and that title came into my head, Journey to My Soul. And I thought, oh, where's that come from? Oh,
Mm.
and I was instantly given a download, really, and I had to do just that. And that turned out to be my first and only so far DVD that I recorded, and it was called Journey to the Soul.
Ooh.
And that was so life-changing. So there was the soul work and there was my coaching. And so it feels as though soul-based coaching has been a natural evolution of that stirring.
Mm.
And a couple of years ago, I saw, flicking through Facebook and wherever else I was looking online, and I came across soul empowerment work, soul-based work, and so on. And I came across soul-based coaching.
Mm. Mm.
Annemiek. And I thought, oh, well, this looks interesting. Looked more into it, contacted you, and a year, 18 months or whatever later, here I am. This absolutely ticks the boxes for me in terms of where I am on the inside and how I want um, to connect with others on the outside, connect with people, and particularly women outside. And I say that in terms of my work.
Yes.
So it's just a natural progress, natural process.
Mm.
Mm.
Your voice, Hanifa, has a beautiful quality. So I can just imagine that that DVD was such a brilliant gift to listen to and
Thank you
watch. I
so
think DVDs we can watch, right? Yeah, I'm totally out of all of them.
much. Yes. So am I now.
Oh, oh, that
Everything,
is
if it's
funny.
not on Zoom or if it's not in my email, then it just
Yeah, it's like I think there's some CDs somewhere in the house left, but it's
I
oh,
know.
but yes, no, I love what you're saying about. I think it's something that a lot of people will recognize. That thing about that noticing that actually it's not about what's going on inside outside of us, but it's about that drawing in, and about noticing what's happening inside of you. And of course,
Mm.
that's what we help our clients do. And I love how this has been ticking the boxes for you
Oh, yeah.
and making it possible to be in connection with the people that you want to work with and support in a way that really aligns for you. That's just so beautiful. And then, of course, you're also a poet, which is, at some point, someone told me years and years ago about how art is nourishment for the soul. And that just struck so true for me, in art in all its forms, but poetry most definitely too.
Yes.
You want to say something about you as a poet, how you, yeah, how did you become Haneefah poet?
Wow. And again, that's something that happened some years ago. I realized that, and I've gone back into my memory and looking through some folders. And I realized that I had been writing poetry for about 20 years now. And but writing because I just loved words. I love words anyway, and I love rhyming poetry particularly, but it doesn't have to be rhyming. But I realized that I'd been writing stuff all about social justice, about family relationships, spirituality, and I'd been putting these little jottings down and putting them in the folder, which is just behind me there actually. I'd put them in the folder and left them there, thought nothing of them. A friend of mine in 2016 invited me to an event, a show, and she said, "Oh, why don't you come down there and see what it's like? It's a poetry event." And so I did. I went. It was local, and I went along. And while I'm sitting there, and all these poets came, and I said, "Yeah, that's really really great, really great." And they're all on stage, and suddenly my friend walked on stage. I was absolutely shocked. I've known her for years. I was shocked. I was thinking, but you never told me that you were going to be on stage. I knew she would be there because she said she was going with her family. She never said, I didn't know she was going to be on stage. I didn't know that she wrote poetry. I certainly didn't know that she performed poetry. And it was just such another layer to our relationship. Wow, she opened herself up in this way to me and to everyone in the room, and it was wonderful. But I have to say, I sat there and thought, hmm, I like that. I like the energy in the room that you can share with the audience, and the feedback that you get from the audience as well. Fast forward, saw my friend maybe a couple of hours later after the performance. I said, you know what? I want to give it a go. I'd love to give it a go. Who can I speak to? Spoke with the person, and fast forward. And he said, fine, on our next show, you can come on. And it can't be that easy. There's no way it can be that simple, because I got an understanding of it. It's called the Soul Food Poetry Collective, and I can't be as simple as that. Nothing is, but it was, and I did my first show, my first public performance of poetry in 2016. Could not believe the response, and it was a poem that I'd written years before, and here I am now. And poetry, so feeds my soul. It
Mm.
is, it's in some ways, it's been a lifesaver at times when I have felt, that life has been difficult. I've I do get these kind of downloads. I just get them. And Mother Nature, Allah, the spirits, whatever the energies, the ancestors, they give me. They're so generous and loving and giving. And just in the moments when I need them, I get a download. It can be very inconvenient as well, because sometimes it's like 2 o'clock in the morning.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, yes. It can be 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm thinking, oh, but I have to get up and jot, and then that's it. And and I'm now given the opportunity, because I now do coming to the end of this one, but I've done 3 workshops for a local group, a local organization, and so that's been really affirming for me as well. And my poetry book, I published a poetry book last year, and I've contributed to, I'm co-author on a couple of books as well, poetry books. So it's been a real treat for me,
Yeah.
feeding my soul with poetry.
So beautiful.
Mm.
Of course, it makes us super curious about your poetry.
Mm.
So we didn't rehearse this, so I'm gonna ask you, and we can cut this out if needed. But is there a short poem that you might be able to share with us?
Let's have a see now. I always have things on my phone. Let me see if I've got something short that I can share with you. Let's see what I've got here. Poems. Now. So I will maybe just do a couple of verses of this one, or yeah, maybe a verse. Yeah. And it's called Moments. Take a moment to reflect on the year that's just gone by, the times when you laughed and the times when you cried. Take a moment to give thanks for every moment that came, opportunities you saw and you seized, and those that won't come round again. Take a moment to think of how you want your life to be, where you want to go, who you want to meet, and what you want to achieve. Take a moment to think of nature's gifts, her beauty and her treasures. Then think of the moments you have right now that bring you happiness and pleasure. Take a moment. Thank you for giving me that space to share that.
Oh, thank you. I know that I'm not going to be the only one who loved that.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I think, for me, this is what my work is about, and the academy and the work with my clients is to, it's like, this is so much your soul speaking. There's so much medicine in it, and to help people access the medicine that they have inside of them. And there's like such a beautiful variety and lusciousness when we allow ourselves to go there. So thank you so much for wanting to share that part of you too with us.
Thank you so much, Annemiek, for giving me the opportunity. And I have to say also that I want to thank the Soul-Based Coaching Academy for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this absolutely amazing training and the work that you do. What it's done is given me an opportunity to blend the skills that I've learned over 30 years as a practicing social worker, and it's given me an opportunity to reflect on the skills I've learned there, but also to learn some new skills, because there's a lot that's gone on in my 30 years as a practicing social worker, a lot that's gone on that's been absolutely awesome, amazing, and I've worked with some, and I hope I've worked and helped to support some people in quite difficult circumstances. My speciality is around mental health, and what I've learnt through soul-based coaching and other coaching work that I've done, but particularly through soul-based coaching and the practice that we're doing, is that actually there is another way. there is another way. And although as a poet, a lot of my work is all of it is about speaking and using words. A lot of soul-based coaching is about actually not speaking and about listening and about giving this holding space for our clients. And that to me is so, oh, I don't know, it's another layer of satisfaction for my soul.
Mm.
So I thank you, Annemiek, and I thank the your, your trainers, and I thank the community of women that I'm now a part of and enjoying every moment of the learning that I'm experiencing. Thank you so
Mm.
much.
Thank you so much. It means a lot to hear you say that. Mm. I know that you come, you came with such a rich, such a rich, what is it, collection of experience, and seeing you kind of see how you can kind of take it deeper with like more ease, and bringing that soul quality that you're so obviously about, like specifically in your work, is like it's such a treasure to watch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Haneefah. So if you're watching this and you have questions to me, to Haneefah, of course, like pop them in the comments. We love answering them. If you would like to find Haneefah and see more of her work, where should people go, Haneefah?
So there are two places I direct people to. There's my website, which is haneefahmuhammad.com, haneefahmuhammad.com, and my Facebook page, which is Haneefah Muhammad. And if you want to make contact with me, either through there or you can DM me through Facebook, that's fine. I'd love to talk to you about my poetry work, my coaching work. More than happy. Yeah,
Beautiful.
great.
Thank you. So we'll make sure that these links are also near the video so it's easy to
Right,
find them.
great.
Thank you so much, Haneefah, for your sharing of your journey. And thanks everyone for watching. Until we meet again. Bye,
Thank,
everyone.
thanks, Annemiek.